Am I the butthole for telling my mom she can't see her grandson unless she changes her attitude? Hello Reddit. My husband, 33, and I, 31, are pregnant with our first child after trying for a year now. We found out that we're having a baby boy and we're so thrilled. We decided that we were going to do a small gender reveal party. My mom always wanted a granddaughter, she even wore all pink to the gender reveal. When the blue confetti came out, everyone cheered except for my mom. She decided to leave and go home, so I didn't see her the whole rest of the party. After the party, I decided to get on social media. The first thing that popped up was a post from my mom saying worst day ever. When someone asked what was going on, she replied, "My daughter is having a boy when I wanted it to be a girl, but I guess it's okay." I called my mom and I told her that unless she changes that attitude then she can't see her grandson, and she just screamed at me, but I kept it firm. My husband and in-laws agree with me, but other relatives called me butthole. So am I the butthole? Not the butthole. Imagine a grown-up acting like a petulant child who didn't get their own way. I'm sure she'll come around, but be on guard that she doesn't eventually show favoritism to any future granddaughters. You may need to continue to protect your son from this woman. Precisely. Original poster. It's okay for your mom to be disappointed, but it's not okay for her to complain about it publicly. I've seen a lot of Am I the Butthole posts about husbands/fathers being disappointed that they are having a girl, or that they have all girls and no boys, and they are roundly, and correctly, branded as Oz. Your mom is as well, for the same reason. Hold firm on your boundary. Not the butthole. This isn't a crisis. Grandma-to-be shouldn't need rings worth of support, and this shouldn't be anywhere near worst day ever. I'd be worried about letting a child of any gender around a grandma like that, frankly. Even assuming the child will identify with the sex they appear to be at birth, which isn't a given, there is a lot of variation within a gender. My parents had 3 cis girls, and got a nerd, a feral Amazon, and jock. Not a Barbie-loving pretty princess in the bunch. Would a grandma like this bemoan the tragedy if a girl goes out for track instead of cheerleading? Try to take away toy dinosaurs because those are for boys? Or are we meant to believe this is entirely about the baby's plumbing, which would be a whole different level of concerning? Original poster is not the butthole. Grandma wants a made-to-order mini person, she can go find a custom doll and leave the actual human grandkids to figure out who they are without her interference. I agree with 100%. You may need to be the adult and protect your child from whatever stupid and pointless expectations your mother had for your pregnancy. Not the butthole. Hopefully this is just a temporary incident of her acting out. I would have a low contact/no contact plan on standby. Feral Amazon, haha, that's a fantastic description. Grandma would lose her mind if her granddaughter ended up loving cars and decided to be a mechanic or anything not girly. My mom wanted a girly girl. She got a firefighter. That's great, you're a firefighter. Laughing out loud. I love the term feral Amazon. What does it mean? I think I'm running a bit slow today. I'm picturing Wonder Woman in her Amazonian armor but less poised, laughing my butt off. My mental image was of Xena in a bad mood. I guess she killed an entire village that day and lost 2 good men or horses. That is pretty much the image that is living in my brain. Odd, I was picturing matted hair with twigs and leaves tangled up in it, perhaps one shoe, and maybe underpants. I'm thinking Sheila the she-wolf from Glow. I love feral Amazon. It's the perfect description for my daughter, I just didn't know it until I read it. I think of a feral Diana with tangly hair and dirt and snot all over their face. I try, but that's my kid. Yep. We live on a farm. She's a giant, filthy child. She will however wear a sparkly dress with her wellies. I mean, why should she have to choose between pretty princess dresses and doing all the fun messy mischief she can think of? Laughing out loud, I saw a thing about some women wanting to be girly and pretty like Aphrodite, and some wanting to be fierce like Artemis, but the best way was to be like Persephone, who is both the queen of the underworld and the goddess of spring. As a feral nerd Amazon, whose dad taught her plumbing despite initially assuming he'd get a boy, huzzah for you, and I'm totally stealing these phrases for my nibblings. 100%, agree with you. Wouldn't worst day ever in this context be something like, I don't know, a stillborn grandchild or a daughter dying in childbirth? But, boys are icky. OMG, feral Amazon is a perfect description of my sister. We grew up in the 80s/90s, so we called her Xena, but feral Amazon is much more concise. I love this comment so much, clapping hands, clapping hands. I want to watch the sitcom based on your childhood. Are you the feral Amazon? Please define, because what I'm imagining sounds awesome. I am actually the dinosaur-loving nerd, but I think my sister would be pleased to see the reaction this is getting. Exactly, she behaved like a preschool child disappointed in younger siblings' gender. She's an adult woman, she should know how to behave like one. Can confirm. I once had a meltdown when I found out that I was getting a brother instead the sister I wanted. I was 4. Imagine being disappointed in not getting the gender you want. Who cares? I have all boys but would love a daughter the same. This is just weird. Agreed. Not the butthole. My wife and I wanted a girl after having 3 boys and 1 girl, no in-house playmates, and I was disappointed for a few minutes, but neither of us ever complained to other people or told our son we wanted a girl. We embraced it and never looked back. Okay, well, my wife still talks of adopting a little girl, even just yesterday, but we don't regret our son one bit. I remember during the ultrasound, the doctor said, "There's his little turtle," and I thought, damn, girls don't have turtles. Not the worst thing that could happen, and this grandmother should be happy that they're even having a baby. Many couples are desperate to have anything besides a dog or cat to love. Original poster is not the butthole. Anyone that interested in gender has already set their roles for them, and that can be terror for the child. My dad always said to people when they congratulated him for finally having a boy after 3 girls, "What do you mean finally? I have awesome girls and now a son. They are not any better or less because they are girls or boys." My parents had my baby brother when they were 42, Dad, and 39, Mom. They thought they were done having kids, so the gender wasn't the issue but their age. My oldest sister was 16 at the time, and when she was out with our brother, people would say how cute her son was. After a while, my sister would growl, "Hi's my brother," and stomp away. Now my brother is turning 33 and he lives at home since he helped take care of our dad, who was an invalid in the last years of his life. Now he just takes care of our mother. I had never really thought about having kids, and then husband, partner, and I decided we wanted one. We had blood tests done at 12 weeks because I was over 35, and they asked if we wanted to know. I had not really had any hope for one gender or the other before then, but for just a moment when they said we were having a boy, I was sad that I wouldn't have a little girl. But it was a heartbeat long. I adore my son. I never wish he was a girl. I love his long hair and his affinity for sparkles and his Supergirl costume and all 1,000 of the trucks in his collection. I sometimes wonder what would be different if I had a girl, but I would never change anything about him. I know exactly how you feel. My husband and I were kind of expecting a girl, and then we found out it was a boy. In the car park after the ultrasound, we both admitted to some feelings in that moment, very vague and hard to describe feelings. But it wasn't long at all before we were excitedly giggling about our little boy. Plus, as I learned from another pregnant friend, if it's a boy, you can tell people you now have both sex organs. Fun and a very effective way to scare off pushy strangers. No, I don't agree that it's okay for her to be disappointed. The only thing that matters is the child is healthy. For the parents' peeves about getting all girls and no boys. Here's a clue, parents. When you are ailing, you know who is going to care for you. And who is going to clean out your house? Yes, that would be us, the girls. I was just thinking that, yesterday. As the niece-in-law, helping the stepdaughters clean out the place of a very cantankerous woman. We still all did it though, masks and all, even though we all had our shots. Oh, P, congrats on your boy. Laughing out loud, I have a girl. But she never was the pastel princess your mom-in-law is thinking of. You never know what you are going to get, for sure. Just enjoy. I'm not sure on your culture, and I know for cultures what you said is exactly true, but it's not true for all men or all women. One of my friends is a career for his parents. He gave up his job and home to move back in to look after them. Whereas his 2 sisters show up at family events and that's about it. While that is one anecdotal event, there are many like that. I could understand her being slightly upset if she was excited for a granddaughter but to leave and post what she did on social media. That's beyond crafty, and Original Poster is right. If mom is going to treat her son differently because he's a boy, he doesn't need to be subjected to that. And if she has a girl later, mom will try to favor her. Not the butthole Original Poster. Good on you for putting down clear boundaries now. It's okay to be a little disappointed, but keep it to yourself. I don't get her behavior. Especially since it's not like they had a choice in the matter. Exactly. A little disappointed is fine, but throwing a public strop because you're getting a grandson instead of a granddaughter? Not okay at all. So many people can't have children, never mind grandchildren, and she's all obsessed with gender? She needs to get her priorities straight. So true. She should be grateful for what she's got. What is it, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit? Yeah. Worst day ever? I'm going to be a grandma and I hate it. Hope the kid never finds out how he ruined his grandma's life before he was even born. Imagine getting to the age of a grandmother and never having had a worse life experience than finding out that you are having a grandson instead of a granddaughter. What a charmed life she must lead. I know. I was thinking, how privileged and sheltered is this brother-in-law? Yeah, ask her how she's going to explain that one to grandson in 10 years when he stumbles onto it on her Facebook page. Kids aren't the only ones who need to be reminded the internet never forgets. Or discuss with good friends in confidence, or a therapist, etc., posting on social media for all their friends / etc. To see that she's disappointed is just so gross and childish. Plus, if Original Poster chooses to have more kids and does have a daughter, I'd be concerned about favoritism. Ask her why it matters. Have her write out in great detail the difference a girl would be instead of a boy in terms of her interaction with her grandchild. Maybe she'll recognize that she's stupid for having a preference because babies are babies. I mean, it's okay to have a preference, and you don't need to have a solid reasoning for it either. Feelings are feelings. What's not okay is loving a baby or not loving it depending on gender, or airing out your dislike. I want to be a mother one day and my preference would be for a girl. But if I get pregnant with a boy, I will still love him anyway and look forward to all the special things that come with having a boy. People who are so fixated on a baby's genitals creep me out. You ever see that gender reveal videos where the mom and dad have like a 3/4-year-old who is crying because they were hoping for the new baby to be the same gender as them and is disappointed? That's how Original Poster's mom is acting. I wouldn't trust grandma to be nice. I would be concerned that she would say stuff about how the boy should have been a girl and other destructive comments directly to the boy and or in front of Original Poster. She is psycho and 9 months isn't going to change her. She doesn't eventually show favoritism to any future granddaughters. This is where my mind went. Even if she does apologize, based on her actions I would be very weary if she does end up having granddaughters later on. She will treat them and her grandson very differently. I saw a post the other day on Just No Mother-in-Law about a grandmother that wanted nothing to do with one grandchild but doted on the other one because it was the opposite sex, can't remember the genders. There was another post where the grandmother wanted nothing to do with his son and daughter-in-law's child. She didn't consider the child a real grandson since an outsider carried the baby. Be wary of your mom's behavior, Original Poster. Your baby may be in danger while alone with your mom. Your mom may forget food allergies or medications or dismiss falls because she doesn't care about him since he's not a girl. And Original Poster needs to be wary of anyone who agreed with her backcrap mom on her tantrum. This sounds like a family drama in the making. Good luck, Original Poster. You are absolutely not the butthole. Ignoring the warming signs of your mom's behavior world need the butthole thing you do. It sounds like your new family unit had a good handle on that. That's a good start. Original Poster is already protecting her son and will mama bear him for life, upside down face. Not the butthole. Not the butthole red flag warning, she wouldn't have loved a granddaughter either. Only the version of a granddaughter she is building in her mind. What's going to happen if granddaughter would have made a decision grandma wouldn't have liked later in her life? It's not even her kid, why are so many people this entitled? I'm sure she'll come around. But do you want her to? Not the butthole. Worst day ever? We can all think of worse. Congratulations on your happy news. Incidentally, we just found out this past year that our older child is a daughter, not a son. I always kind of wanted a daughter, not to the point of being disappointed in a son, mind you, and now I have one. Life is weird. Worst day ever is the kind of thing my 5-year-old says when he doesn't get his way. And I don't let him get away with that kind of behavior. I think that original poster's mother can be held to at least the same standard as a 5-year-old, right? Not the butthole. I say worst day ever over stupid stuff like dropping my toast butter side down. That is just to take the sting out of it and try to lighten the mood. But for original poster's mom, combining her words with her actions, it's clear she meant it. Maybe I can give her the benefit of the doubt that this is just overdramatics, but it's still really a crappy thing to hear. Original poster definitely deserves an apology. Not the butthole. My mother Vega booked about my sister's wedding day being awful, because everything wasn't to her exact preference. You know what she got for that? Not invited to my wedding, because that's what you do to spoiled children who have a tantrum for not getting everything they want, also because, you know, she'd have done the exact same crap my wedding, and I didn't want any of that negativity on the day I married my best friend. Also, original poster, if you read this, you need to put that woman on a very tight lead/leash around your kid. I guarantee there's going to be favoritism to any possible future granddaughter, and it'll affect your son once he realizes it. So true. My brother was my granny's golden child, and it screwed both of us up. He always wanted to please her, so never said no. Conversely, I'd find a way to say no for him. Now I'm a cold bitch for setting boundaries, and he's a young man that struggles to say no. I hope original poster sees your comment, because no matter how hard my mom tried to help us filter out the manipulation, it still screwed us over in the long run. She doesn't want that for her kids. At least a 5-year-old may actually lack the perspective to realize it's not the worst day ever. Emotions we're currently feeling are much more potent than ones we simply remember feeling, and a big reason little kids have meltdowns is that they legitimately don't have the ability to know bad feelings will pass, or that they felt this upset before and been okay. Anyone old enough to be a grandmother ought to have figured out by now how to remember previous hardships that were a hell of a lot worse than finding out your grandchild's sex, not to mention pull herself together over something that's neither a big deal nor within anyone's control. Like, imagine worst daying ever over some petty butt crap after 2020. Gross. Well, exactly. You're alive. Your daughter's alive. She's pregnant. Wait, it's a boy. No. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.